Hi, my life with CPS. Still living the nightmare. It just keeps dragging on and on. There is no break from CPS. But you know, there is a break slightly because when we moved to this apartment, we have no children. So CPS isn't going to come knocking on our door. They're not going to bother us. But I do have to say, when I gave birth to my son, 10 days later, they were knocking on my door. They came to my house, invaded my privacy. You know, I was sitting up there, spending time with my son, singing to him, laughing with him. And they just like, hey, we need to come in. So the wonderful thing about it is that they had this great lady who came in, and she looked at how clean the house was, and she looked at everything that our son had. And the joking part was, can I come be your kid too? But no, we had so much stuff for our son. For one day I found out I was pregnant, I started saving money again for him. I showed her the checking account that I had for my son before he was even born. I said, this is his money. I saved this up for him. And she's like, wow, that's good. And then she saw everything that he had. And she's like, my God, you got like 500 diapers and a stack that was yay high. And I said, yeah, they're in different sizes so he can grow into them. But she just kind of looked around at everything that he had. And there he is. He is so cute. And I could see why people would want him. He is so beautiful. But anyway, she saw my beautiful son. She saw everything that he had. And then she's just like, well, you know, I'm going to close this case because I think I'm wasting my time. Which I thought was really beautiful. Because that was like, she didn't want to waste taxpayers' dollars, which is wonderful. And this time they had called the black division of CPS. You know, my daughter's on the white division of CPS. They will not allow her to be with anybody unless they're white. She won't let them be with an African American family. Here's another picture of my sweet little boy. Yeah, I protected him so well. You know why? When he wanted to go to school, the schools would not allow him, no matter how many letters and notes I got from the doctors. Because he had energy to go to school like super duper early. And they wouldn't allow it. So what happened was, I came up on a sum of money that I had gotten all of a sudden. And I said, you know, I'm going to send him to private school. And I sent him to like the most wonderful school. It was called Future Trust Daycare. But then it was like a school combination. And it gave him new friends, new kids to hang out with, new activities to do. And then he got to do some of the old activities that we were doing with him with a new twist, because there were kids going with him in order to do activities that he really enjoyed doing. Dancing was one that he really liked, and I did have him in a dance class 3 times a week, so he really enjoyed that tremendously. He loved to play basketball, so of course that was something that we did for him because that was something that he totally enjoyed. Parks, yeah, as many parks, different parks as he wanted to go to, because that really gave him joy, especially going down the really super duper long slides, which totally rocked for him. But only thing I wanted was my son to be like totally happy. And when his sister went to school, he'd be like, where's she going? What friends is she gonna make? But at the same time, when I sent him to school, he had different friends. And he got to, you know, come home and be able to talk about what he did. And that right there in itself, you know, just gave me a lot of joy. And I said, hey, it's totally worth sending him off to school, even though it cost me like $4,000. I said, you know what? He's having fun. He's excited about, you know, getting up in the morning, Monday through Friday, going to a nice program, learning. I mean, this woman at Future Trust was like totally incredible. She was extraordinary. She loved my son dearly. She was very smart, very brilliant. And at the same time, he had a bunch of friends, even though they were just a little bit older than him. The learning right there in itself is really putting him ahead in life. And I think that's what I loved the most, is his learning, his excitement, the extra smile on his face. That, for some reason, really made my day. And it made my husband very happy because my son would, you know, have his weekends, which was great because of the birthday parties that he was invited to along with my daughter. The weekends would be like a birthday party / barbecue to go to, which gave them a lot of fun in their lives. And I have a really wonderful friend who has 10 acres of land out in Maple Valley. She's got cows, she's got chickens, she's got pigs, and she's got ducks, and she's got a little bit of water going through, you know, or you can go fishing. And that right there in itself, when we had time available, and this is when school was out, we would take a couple weeks just to go down there and to do activities, walking around the farm, looking at the horses, you know, checking out all the beautiful birds, flowers. So, you know, that vacation and being someplace completely different and being with different people would give them joy. And so that's something I totally enjoyed, you know. It's like, but the thing was, my son's schooling was all through the year. My daughter was a little bit different. Whenever she had time off, of course, her and my husband would go on that nice little vacation together, and then I would spend time with my son. My son would get off from school, you know, and we would spend time together doing the things that we wanted to do, like going down to the recreational center, playing video games, going outside, going on the swings. And then he loved to run, so I'd take him down to the Pacific Park and he would go around the field. But that was like on the weekends. And so when my daughter would end her vacation with my husband, then we'd all get together and talk about what we all did. But, you know, there's been some joy and enjoyment. But the thing is, it's always like scared. It's like, because CPS, this is the funny part, the report that was thrown against us had happened a year before they actually acted up on it. You know what I mean? It's like they accused my daughter of doing drugs like freaking 2007, okay? And it's like they didn't bother us till like 2008. And I'm thinking to myself, the reason they waited so long was because finally when my son said, hey, I want to go to a regular school, I want to go and meet different people and do different things, I let him decide when he was no longer wanting to go to private school. And I know that's a big decision to give your child, but you have to give your child some responsibility in life and let them make some decisions in their life, you know. And so he went to public school, and they got a look at him. And then after that, that's when the harassment occurred, is when they got one look at him. I mean, he's a grown boy now. This is just baby pictures of him. But when he finally got into public school, that's when the harassment occurred. And my goodness, because I know they took one look at him and they're just like, oh, he's so gorgeous. I mean, that's what they would say to me when they finally did get a look at him. But I think that CPS only goes after beautiful children. And they like to go after parents who are poor, I think, or not rich, you know. And, you know, what was the funny part is when they decided to attack us on certain issues, you know, no matter how much I would prove to them that, hey, your information you're getting is incorrect. And we need to have this person sit in court and tell us, you know, why do you think this? Why do you think that? And that they submit fraud information to CPS.